Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Income Shifting 2.0, Strategy over Sales, People over Products. I'm Robert Plant II. I'm the founder of Planting Future Gains, and I am an Executive Vice President of MyEcon. The purpose of both companies is to establish personal financial success for all. The United States of America is the wealthiest nation in the world with over 2/5 of the world's wealth. However, it is the most unequally distributed wealth in the world. The Gini coefficient is 85.6. The higher the number, the more unequal the distribution, the highest being 100. Minority of Americans hold the majority of American wealth, so by deduction, the majority of Americans are not wealthy. So what do the wealthy know that most of us don't? Let's start, though, with what we have in common. All working Americans have two objectives: labor to maintain the current lifestyle, invest to prepare for the future lifestyle. Labor alone has failed to sustain the current lifestyle. Multiple and diverse income streams are required, and most workers are either not informed or are misinformed. Prior methods of retirement limit the future lifestyle. The government tried Social Security, and corporations tried pensions. These methods are either insufficient or are non-existent today. What separates Americans wealthy from non-wealthy is while the means of personal financial success are available to all, this information is not taught in schools, and a select few are exposed to this at an early age. The methods of acquiring wealth show the disparity. For the non-wealthy, labor generates the majority of assets, and about 80% feel as if they've fallen behind. For the wealthy, residual income generates the majority of assets, and there are over 11 million in this country who are at least millionaires. Generational wealth is directly proportionate to financial education. So knowing the causes of the disparity leads to the cure for the disparity. Cause number one is inflation. The buying power of the dollar is significantly reduced. Labor income, cost of living increases, and the low rates of return for cash equivalents fail to combat inflation. Meanwhile, costs and prices are going up. The rates of increase often exceed inflation based on accessibility. More money is required to buy the same things. So, if you live in the inner city, you typically have to pay more for the same things than those who live outside of the city. Also, what $20 could buy 20 years ago is significantly more than what $20 can buy today. All Americans are affected, none are immune. The dollar of a wealthy person buys the same as that of a non-wealthy person. Cause number two is taxes, and this is where the separation begins. The majority of Americans overpay in taxes. According to the IRS, nearly 8 out of 10 of those who file receive a refund. A refund for you is an interest-free loan for them, and overpaying in taxes cuts into the usable income. Wealthy Americans are the least taxed. Some legally pay no taxes, and the knowledge is passed down generationally. These live primarily off residual income and capital gains, which are taxed the least. Can the playing field be leveled? Yes. Now, the standard rate of taxation is 28 to 33%, which means that from January to April of a given year, a worker is pretty much working for free. The funds are insufficient to support the current lifestyle, so one must find another way to acquire necessary funds. Again, wealthy Americans are the least taxed. They use strategies to lower taxable income, which is known as the adjusted gross income, or AGI. They do not work for the majority of their income, and their money makes money. So how is this possible? We'll find out. Cause number 3 is debt. This is the one thing that the non-wealthy have more of than the wealthy. Banks and creditors exploit the non-wealthy using credit cards, fees, loans, especially student loans, and late fees charged by services and utilities. So from May to August, debt is accrued to supplement the insufficient funds for the first 4 months. Your lack of money costs you money. Cause number 4, big business, bad spending. The majority of the population is conditioned to spend, spend, spend. At least one holiday per month. Might as well include anniversaries, birthdays, and special occasions, as well as some recycled trends, especially when it comes to fashion. This keeps the corporations well funded, as those with the least wealth spend the most money, and those with the most wealth spend the least. So from September to December, that period of time is spent draining the remainder of what the first 2 periods left behind. So what is the cure? We've seen the 4 causes or challenges to our 2 objectives. To review, the 2 objectives are to maintain the current lifestyle and prepare for the future lifestyle. The 4 causes or challenges of economic disparity are inflation, taxes, debt, and big business or bad spending. Now there are 3 solutions in the form of 3 income sources. These solutions start with the IRS Form W-4, which is the tax allowance worksheet. Allowances include self, spouse, dependents, and itemized deductions. And in certain cases, 2 sides of the form can be used. The form is filled out incorrectly for most people. This is the number 1 cause of refunds, and remember, a refund for you is an interest-free loan for them. If the form is correctly filed, this will free up $200 to $800 per month on average of your income. And if it is incorrectly filed, say you have too many allowances, this could result in underpayment and possible imprisonment. Number 1 source of income, the job. This is the most common, as the vast majority of Americans rely solely on jobs, and some have multiple jobs. This is the highest tax source of income, as 100% of your AGI is taxed initially. Standard deductions reduce the AGI on the back end. As stated before, jobs are taxed 28 to 33%, which means 1/3 of your year is spent paying taxes. So the synopsis: I'm working, I'm taxed, and I'm broke. Source number 2 is the home-based business. This reduces the tax percentage. The government encourages independent contractors and home-based business owners to be in business, and doing so provides a 10% tax rate reduction, typically 18 to 23%. Home-based business offers a partial tax shelter with standard deductions of up to $20,000. And you can include itemized deductions by recording expenses and services that are related to the business, and you can write off your lifestyle as it contributes to your business. The synopsis: I work for me and my lifestyle works for me. Source number 3, investments/residual income. Investments provide the lowest tax rate, as investors are taxed by less than 10% in some cases. High-yield investments provide rates of return that exceed inflation, and again, cash equivalents are to be avoided. The residual income, your money makes money. Types of residual income include capital gains and dividends, and vested accounts pay out interest periodically. Smart investing can advance retirement income and speed up the retirement process. So the synopsis: my money works for me and makes money for me. So before we get too far into the income shifting strategy, let's look at cash flow. How long is your money? If you spend twice as much as you make, then your cash flow is half the year. However, if you spend half as much as you make, your cash flow is 2 years and you have more financial freedom. So the strategy is to go into business with my econ. Use both sides of the W-4 to lower your taxes and increase your usable income. Use the cash flow strategist to set financial goals and budgets, and use the cash flow manager software to apply the strategy. Doing so will help you reverse your cash flow within 3 months. Now, this is strategy over sales. The second part of the strategy is the home-based business, providing the additional tax shelter. Present the strategy and its benefits to help other people. Then utilize the sale of products to justify the business setup. You get to earn as you learn. The key is activity and debt elimination. Log all of your business activity in the BMC or the back office and use the cash flow manager for online financial record keeping for tax purposes. Use the lifestyle to apply itemized deductions and reduce the AGI. This will help to generate business income within 6 months. And this is again people over products. This is where most of our associates begin to make more of the money outside of the business structure. Have the income generate more income and allow capital gains and dividends to provide living income. So start with a little at a time, then gradually increase your contributions. Utilize the lowest taxable source of income to generate the highest rate of return. And you should be able to contribute to investments within 9 months. So it's decision time. Are you a 3, 2, or 1? 3 means I will stay with my current situation, no thank you. Your time is appreciated, all the best to you. 2 means you want to use the home-based business to lower your taxes and bring home more of your income. If this is the case, welcome aboard. I look forward to working with you. And a 1 means I am all in. I want to use the entire strategy. I have shifted my mindset and want to shift my income. That is fantastic. So now the bottom line for your 2s and 1s. The startup cost is a one-time fee of $199.95, and this may be lowered based on the current promotion. Your monthly charge is $34.95. You are not charged for 30 days. This includes tax training, ID Defender, and discounted legal services. Also, you can utilize the cashback mall as it is free for customers and generates commission value. And it pays to be your own best customer. Get in touch with me or any My Econ associate to start changing your personal financial situation today. Your situation will never change unless you do. Be the change you seek.